Hello and welcome to another edition of the Eternal Journey. I am That Resolves and this is Dr. Pringle's Nostrix control. All links will be in the bottom just to direct you towards an excellent deck list. And of course this is close to my heart because before In Cold Blood came to ruin everyone's fun, I did really enjoy just giving people a business in JPS decks with Inquisitor and Makto. But here we are again. So the unit suite here is pretty nice. It's a lot of really resilient threats. So we've got like Jenny Merchant, Stonepowder, Alchemist, and Shelterwing Rider, all of which are going to either have to like trade for 2 spells. And even like the Shelterwing Rider, if your opponent just like tries to pop the Aegis with a Vanquish or whatever, then like the 0/5 flying bodies there is going to save you a bunch of life. Then again, we've got the Inquisitor Makto. This guy never knows when to give up a fight. And to top all this off, we've got the Nostrix, and I do like Nostrix right now because, well, Primal Icaria or other sort of Icaria decks, because if you play this into your opponent's Rizan, like Rizan just like gets gobbled up by the big owl, and if your opponent like merchants to try and set up a turn 7 Icaria, then you've got a 5/7 in play, so they can't really attack with it unless they've been doing some sort of nonsense to give it additional power. But for the most part, it means this is sort of the same as Sandstorm Titan in that your opponent has to spend their next turn sort of figuring out how to deal with your problem rather than being able to sort of develop their Icaria to the board. That's where I like to be. And of course, Nostrix means that we're not going to be playing Makto in the board. So we are playing all 4 copies in the main deck here rather than the market. And that's so that if we Nostrix our Makto, that all the copies are going to get the buff because Nostrix doesn't care about markets whatsoever. So we do have access to a Nostrix in the market, but this is the only unit or win condition that's in there. Aside from maybe Mirror Image, if we're going to consider like Mirror Image Stonepowder Alchemist as a win condition, which often it actually can be. So you notice as well, we're not playing Harsh Rule, but we have got a lot of spot removal here, stuff like Slay, Vanquish, and Annihilate, but we've also, you know, the Hailstorm's fine here. If we're going to be playing against stuff that I feel like we're weaker against, which is stuff like tokens, then Hailstorm's generally fine, and we've just got a bunch of flying units, so we'll just kill our opponent's things, fly over, and that's sort of the aim of the game. But yeah, another interesting thing I've noticed here as well, I've seen this cropping up in a couple of like justice-based sort of control decks where it doesn't feel right, and I'm not entirely certain on the Crownwatch standard quite yet. But this is effectively like, we don't want to play the Monument whatsoever, because we don't just want like a random 5-cost 3/3 weapon, but I'm really in the market for like +3/+3 lifesteal against some decks, just like, yep, just get in there with my Shelterwing Rider or Inquisitor Makto or whatever, just gain a billion to life, and maybe even kill you. But yeah, just still not sold on combat tricks in control decks, but I guess it's in the deck, so I'm going to give it a try and see how we feel about it. But yeah, let's get on to those games. Okay, so here we are. You may notice a few different changes to the stream here as well. Well, the YouTube rather. I got this nice little border. Got Captain Treembro made this for us. After seeing like the cool one that Luis has got on their Dial of Digital streams, I thought, yeah, I want one of these. Actually, we don't run against here, so I'm just going to leave us see it, Cunning. Don't run against, just I'd rather save these crests, although they are very likely just to be to like put powers on top, to be honest, at this moment in time. Yeah, just Crownwatch standard. I think I'd rather just curve out here. Well, I say curve out, you know, we're going to play a Strategize and then a Stonepowder Alchemist. So yeah, Luis's Eternal streams have this nice sort of like blue border around the side, and I thought it was pretty cool. So I've decided to get like my own. Got Treembro to make it. It's got a little icon in the corner. It's all purple, which is my favourite colour. So I'm relatively happy with this. But let's start playing some crests. Yeah, Shadow Sigil's pretty nice there. I'm not actually going to play Strategize yet. Don't think I need to. We're playing against like, it looks like Removal Pile or Armory, which I'm sort of fine with really. Let's just get the magic going with the Stonepowder Alchemist. Also, of course, we don't have to worry about any sort of nonsense like In Cold Blood because our opponent is playing Justice as well. We don't need 7th power here. I think next turn might very well just like Wisdom of the Elders and something else. I'm probably going to draw some cards, try and sculpt our hand to be a little bit prettier. Okay, what I posted here is sort of a nuisance because I was... Okay, well, opponent gets to draw some cards, but we've still got our Revenge unit, so it could be okay. I was actually thinking here of trying to get myself into Nostrix in that. But actually, this could be equally as annoying for our opponent, just having like 10-10 Shelterwing Riders. And then this definitely needs like 2 spells to deal. We've just got like such a sick board at that point. So Harshwell doesn't even tidy it up because we've still got a 5/10. So I'm curious here, like, it's going to depend on what we draw here. I think what I'm going to do is just like slam Nostrix and just buff this up. If we draw Makto and or a Revenge unit, then I'm willing to deploy that first and then Nostrix whatever's left. Okay, well this is sort of fine. The one it posted here is sort of annoying. What I think, well, nothing there I'm really interested in. I'm just going to boost this up, boost any other copies we've got, so it's mostly fine. Then we've got like 2 5-power threats. Of course, our opponent can sweep all of this up with Harshwell, but if they're spending their time like culling the deck, then they've got single target removal, and that's what they're trying to do here. I think another good reason for not having the sort of Harshwells in the main here is because if we are playing stuff like Temporal or like Icaria decks where that stuff's just got like Aegis anyway, I suppose it's just less dead draws that we've got, but here we are just crunch our opponent for a nice 10 points of damage. Sort of happy to strategize here. Don't want to deploy any more threats. Okay, so we're just like Nostrix flooded here. Yeah, let's put a Primal Sigil back. Just shoot our opponent for 2. Then just get our little revengey boys floating. So we are sort of going ham here. Yeah, I'm drawing a lot of counter with these wanted posters, but again, you are only really up 1. It's just sort of like Old Inspire, I guess. But it takes a lot more work. Although when wanted poster cost 1, that was those are some sad days. Well, I was going to crack my opponent for 10, see if they'll let me. And I'm going to try my little hardest to go and find a Stonepowder Alchemist. Because we've got 2 floating in like the top. There we go, found it. There we go, making each bullet count. Yeah, this deck seems a lot less clunky than JPS decks usually seem, so I'm happy to hear this. Okay, well, this is a sort of medium hand here. It's just got like 1 interactive spell and then the Makto. And these Crownwatch standards are going to be pretty awful, but I guess just going to Crest here. Try and find some sort of card draw or not. Hailstorm's maybe good. Yeah, I'll keep Hailstorm just because a lot of matchups where that's just absolutely absurd. And if it is bad, then we've got Strategize and Merchants as draws. So against Feln here, if this isn't like sort of if this is Feln sort of beat down Berserk, then the Hailstorm could be good. But if it's not, then it's going to be awful. I suppose I'll just play Crownwatch again. We could very well be in trouble here with Makto as our win condition. Like, yeah, that's fine. Probably going to take Vanquish, I'm guessing. Because it's the only one that deals with like a lot of their threats, whereas like Annihilate and Hailstorm miss a lot. But yeah, so it's definitely Vanquish. If they're taking something else, it tells a little bit of something about their deck. So, still Seek Power. Got Primal Source there. And then this match could be awful because our opponent could have not only In Cold Blood, but Feeding Time. And that's really going to be difficult for us to play through with our Inquisitor Makto. Okay, well, there's a target for our removal. But it's probably just make Makto. Our opponent makes something that kills Makto, and then we concede. Well, set the volume a bit. Like, Rain of Frogs now seems a little bit too late, but I'm willing to take it. Okay, so the opponent just scooped. Not sure entirely why, but let's get back on the ladder. Well, here we are. I think it sounds actually okay. It's got pretty nice influence, plus like card draw, so probably just going to fire off Wisdom of the Elders on 3. Been playing a ladder this morning a little bit, and I've noticed that there's a lot of Feln and Temporal, which is probably not good news for this deck. Yeah, keep Strategize. This is actually like hard control Feln deck. I'll probably just bomb this Annihilate later on. Yep, so this is like some sort of harder version because I've got colour deck. I'll try to play the Seek Power first, just give them less information. So we've got double Justice, double... So what do we want here? Do we want the second Shadow or the second Primal? I think it's the Primal, just so we're able to play out the Wisdom next turn, just more important. And we can also just like play Shelterwing Rider the turn after, assuming we draw more power, which we should do really. It's got a bit dark here. I'm trying to sort of lighten out a bit. I feel like that's too bright really, but will do. Okay, cool. So we get strong, so the joke's on us. But hopefully we're able to fight for our opponent's removal spells with, yeah, let's just chuck out our Wisdom. Driver it does not get unsealed. Okay, cool. So get to play Shelterwing Rider next turn, and then turn afterwards gets like, I don't know, Wisdom or whatever. But with the Crest of Vengeance bringing up to the extra Shadow Source, we can play Makto the turn after. And we do have to be mindful of our opponent having both In Cold Blood and Feeding Time, which could very well bite. Stuff like Permafrost is sort of fine because, I don't know, sort of not above killing my own stuff to get through it. Okay, well, let's just try this. Just make a Makto. If they're able to deal with it, then like, so be it. But that card will never be okay. But we're going to try, we're going to carry on playing anyway. Just see what we can do here. Strategize. So more Shelterwings is probably fine. I don't really think we need millions of powers, so let's just Crest here. Maybe we can find like a Nostrix to make this good. I think we'll keep that, just lets us do more stuff next time. But I think I'm just going to be fetching up Nostrix just to give the Shelterwing Riders like something to talk about. And that means we have to play the one in hand, which means we've got like a 10-10 Aegis in hand, which could be nice. But I'm probably just like firing off Fires Favors here is sort of suspicious. I guess I want to hit the power drops. So actually, let's Wisdom first. Just gives us more cards to make our decision with. So actually play Primal Source, use Seek Power to grab something, grab that Shadow Sigil. And then we can trade that Shadow Sigil. And we can trade that for a Nostrix here. And then if our opponent does actually deal with this like heads up, then we've still got the option of Nostrix in Jedi Merchant. That's still sort of good, you know, it's still a big Aegis threat. Our best threats against sort of like a control deck here is being removed, just because In Cold Blood is just a ridiculous card. It's just got like no business being in this card game whatsoever. But yeah, I sort of hate sort of like sounding tilted or anything like that, but I just consistently never had a good experience with In Cold Blood. So do we want 8 power next turn? And I'm uncertain if we do. But I'm going to play it. I've got like enough redundancy here, so if we do find like a merchant and want to trade some of this out, they're probably fine. There isn't anything I particularly need here. Vision Austerity would sort of be nice if our opponent does like gift us. But also just having more power we don't play with now is sort of fine against gift anyway. So if our opponent plays Champion in here, do we just like double slay it and just like get in for 13? And if we do, it's like a 2-turn clock. Our opponent has to interact with some of this stuff. Another In Cold Blood on this would be awful for us because it's going to make us discard a card, which is just traditionally always awful. Okay, so got the extra power, we don't need that. So crunch our opponent for 10 points, make Shelterwing Rider. And then just like keep this Justice Sigil. If we need it next turn for whatever combination of spells that counts up to 11, we can just play it. But we've got Merchant, we're just able to trade it away. So if we manage to beat In Cold Blood, I'll be very impressed here. Especially because we've got like 2 lives on this. If we draw Dark Return, we're able to get like the Shelterwing back. And yeah, things will be quite difficult for a lot of decks to fight through that. Okay, ball's given up, so we managed to get there just by 15 points of power in the air. So Nostrix really keeping her worth there. Okay, here we go. We're on the play. We've got 2 crests, so we should be able to find like a 3rd power, especially with the Strategize as well. So I think we can keep this, though you could be forgiven for just redrawing there. Dark Return I don't think is quite going to do it. Dark Return Stonepowder Alchemist is interesting, but just like, we can find the other copy, just like, not worry about that. Much rather just try and dig ourselves closer to power here, because that is the weakness of this hand. It's got like a lot of interaction. It's got a nice Stonepowder Alchemist as well. But we'd much rather just like be able to play our things out than just sit here answering things one for one, because we don't have the catch-up mechanic of Harsh Rule or any other sort of sweepers here. Okay, so we've got a Seek Power, which is great. Crest is probably still good as well. I will grab this here, just get the 2nd Justice source. We do need a triple double, so we do need to get towards like the actual millions of Justice and Primal sources. We play the Mirror. This could just be like a sort of a Scream deck, I guess. But it'd be interesting to see if this deck's actually taken off here. Well, it could also be just felled with a Crest. No, Huru with a Crest of Vengeance, I guess. But having a first threat down is sort of good. I'm going to hope that neither of us can really answer a Makto here, so if we are able to find ours, we should be in reasonable shape. Okay, cool, so I've got millions of powers here. So if I can strategize, and like if the next power draw is like a basic, then I'll just bin that. Yeah, let's bottom that, so we can find more power. Crystal's probably fine actually. Just because it means that we're actually drawing another power. So I bottomed it because I figured with the amount of card draw that we had that we could find like another one. So that's probably fine. And if we change our mind and we need something from the board, I can always just like trade it for something else like Mirror Image. I do like Mirror Image Merchant as well. That's just like some delicious technology. Okay, so I'm guessing our opponent's got multiple of those, because otherwise it doesn't seem like much of a reason to keep that. So Hailstorm's probably awful here. Yeah. Let's trade Seat of Order for Mirror Image. Because then we can Mirror Image, and if we draw something that we don't like, we'll just turn it into like a power to get us up to 6. There's just like a lot of finagling and looting and rummaging and all this sort of stuff. But I'm just 100% here for Mirror Image and Merchants. I wonder if there's some sort of like JPS deck that plays Feast Caller. Well, I suppose my turn's answering that. Yeah, that can get out of here. Well, get lost. That's enough of that. So we did miss on 6, but we're probably just going to play Makto anyway. Just like, that's fine. So like medium tedious, like Black Sky here, just popping our Aegises. Well, I'm happy to just play this. Then if our opponent doesn't answer it, probably just gonna Mirror Image. I sort of want to draw a power though, just so we can sort of have like the sniff test, just to see if our opponent does have a do have some sort of fast spell, because I don't want to get like Death Strike over here while I try and Mirror Image it, because that'd just be awful. If our opponent attacks, I think we can't block, just because, as well as Hailstorm, it just opens up to them being able to turn Vara's Favour into like a real card, because it will be able to poop our little Makto back into our deck, which is something I'm not remotely excited about. So I think we'll strategize here. Well, we don't need millions of these dudes. There you go. So we are vulnerable now to Inculpable, but our opponent shouldn't be playing that realistically because we've got like 5 Justice sources. But now just looking like 3 Maktos in play against like their control deck, we should be in pretty good shape, because that's going to be pretty hard for our opponents to chew through. But this is generally why I like cards like Makto and Icaria in like control decks. Yep, you can trade a card now because I'll just get this floating. So if they use the Vara's Favour, now turn it into card, I'm sort of more happy because we've already got the thing in play. Okay, so Harshal's fine. We just didn't take 4 points for no reason, which is good. And having two of these bad boys floating is great, especially when we just like draw one. So undepleted power here, and we are going off. Ah, yes, wisdom. Let's try and draw that power. Get the magic going next turn. Also, drawing two cards just brings us deeper to the other two copies of Makto I think we've got floating. So there's one now. Yeah, it's just one other copy. But yeah, just in control decks, I like cards that are like Makto that will end the game, but still allow your opponent's cards to have text, which is just really important. So like you can see our opponent's removal spells still did things. So like if they've got Slay here, they get to use their cards to be able to push damage if they're a proactive deck. I'll probably be in a reactive deck. I don't really care if like you're able to grind through them because I think that's probably good. But just be able to like wallop your opponent is great. Like, look at this. Slay on Makto, that's fine. Makto will return. This is awful. I don't know how I want to draw cards. I think I want to play my 10-10 out anyway. Just like, yep, got it. The attack block. I mean, you probably have to remove this to get through, but I'm feeling pretty silly about that feeding time now. So we get to draw a card, and then we're going to have to use two cards just to deal with this, which is sort of awful, but it's probably worth it. Like, from what I know, nothing that matters. Gains our point 4 lives, which is probably the more annoying part of it. So yeah, they've got ours choice here, so we will get them down to nothing. So they do already have one of these in the bin, but it's got. So now I have to think about, do I slay this and let them dark turn one that's got +2 on it? I'll do Permafrost it. I think I'll Permafrost it. I keep the slay because if they play Island, I just want to be able to answer that like as soon as possible. Taking 4 here seems sort of fine actually. Like, pardon me. But the old hiccups here. Let's play City Cunning out. So we've got 8 power. So if we draw a card draw, like we'll be able to actually do stuff. But I do want to keep one Primal Sigil sort of at all times because then we can still get in here and get like something. So our opponent's channels are currently worth like 6 points. Let's think about whether it's worth just killing this. Yeah, if they've got channel, it kills us. So we do need to get our Maktos back. And all it is just a matter of waiting now, just for our actual Maktos to turn up. If we're incredibly smart and thin, then Maktos will just like cascade into the other Makto. That's what I want to be, just like round above me 30 power in the field. Sort of exciting stuff. So opponents in the sort of like sculpt their hand version, but I feel like our card draw is better at this point if we draw any, just because our card draw is going to bring us also threats. Okay, well, Black Sky's sort of good here. But here we go. First Makto. Oh, just a seat. So I've got no mirror image left in here to be able to make in like another copy of the merchant. So I suppose just like grabbing feeding times kill us if we do draw one. I think what I really want is just like Wisdom Elves or Strategize. Does Strategize put this power away? I've seen 2 Strategizes. No, one Wisdom. Yep, so I've got to 3. So any other channel is going to do the job here. So kill Makto's fine. I'm just going to block Borrow game 4, which isn't honestly great, but yeah, this is also just sort of fine. Just feel like would have just been completely daggered if our opponent just had like a snowball then, just to finish off our girl. Well, here's Makto. Here's the other Makto. Okay, so let's bottom the sea border. Don't need to either of that. So 2 cost, put 20 power, draw 2 cards. Okay, so let's use the Crest Avengers to see what we can get on top there. Yes, another Makto with Destiny. I would love to. If our opponent's got the other channel, then we're dead. But if they don't, I feel like we're probably in a reasonable spot. Because we're going to attack for everything. Just go up to 5 with this, have like 2 blockers back for this. Seekpower tells me that they probably, unless they're just trying to like, yeah, they played a power, so they've not got a channel here. I'm going to assume that they're just not going to play around Alice Choice or anything like that. Yes, double block. I mean, this is where we just get got by execute, but yeah, generally if someone lets me block, I'll just block for as many things as possible. Like, Hashroll says fine. Is it an additional copy of Hailstorm? Yep. So 2 Hailstorms. And opponent's got nothing on the board, and we've got a 10-10. Oh yes, that was delicious, that. I've also got to be like so angry that we're able to like crawl back into this. Just like mono 10-10 Maktos. Yep, there we go. Bosh. I miss Makto. You know what? I have no idea how I didn't realise that Makto was a bad guy as well. So that's literally in the name. But it took off. Sorry for the spoilers, but if you're already here, you probably know about this. But yeah. Oh man, so close. Oh well. The old ways are the best. You win some, you lose some. Guess just lose more than win at the minute. I think this is the 5th game. It's like, let's just don't even know anymore. Yeah, keep this. It's got like 3 power, 4 power, Gender Merchant and Shelterwing Rider. We're playing against removal, we've got Dark Return with Aegis units, which is delicious, let me tell you. I don't actually know what we're against, so I'm just going to lead with Seek Power, just grab a 2nd Justice. Then when we've seen what they're up to, we can probably make a better decision with the Crest of Cunning. So, Crest case doesn't tell us too much, so okay, well, given we've drawn Nostrix, I'll just want to find more power. And now it's probably fine. I'll buy some time. If a opponent just like plays like Grendon Jones next, and yeah, and it sounds like this is tokens. Okay, this is aggro. This is probably okay. So I'm going to Jet of Merchant here. I'm going to trade this for a Mirror Image, just sort of like doing this sort of combo over and over again. It's not really a combo, to be honest. And then Mirror Image will just turn whatever's bad into, I don't know, the 4th power for the turn. Okay, we don't even need it. Yeah, we do. Why not? I think we'll just like bosh off Primal Sigil, grab Huru Banner. That seems good. Don't want to trade my 3-drop for a 1-drop, so I'm not attacking here. But just keep these 2 little girls back just to protect us. Or is this a dude? Nah, don't think it matters, does it? Hailstorm, yes, very good. I think I'll hang fire on that. Well, we've established a clock. Could very well get dealt with. Looks more and more now like we are actually just playing against actual Grandins rather than Stone Sky aggro. I suppose that's just like part of the territory of playing in like nearly 1,000 masters now. But it's just like all the memes have come out to play. Oh boy. Well. No blocks. Suppose I'm cracking my opponent for 5 and then Hailstorming, which is what I wanted to do, I'll be honest with you. Yep. Hailstorm. So glad that Hailstorm works that way instead of the other way. The other way being like all the things dying that the Scrapton could see and get bigger. So, yeah, Madness is fine. Very happy to just have a bunch of nonsense that can't really get Madness very easily, although we do have to be careful at Makto. Right, cool. So, what else do we have in here? That's good. Do I actually want everything out of here? It's just like Nostrix, isn't it? Or can I fire? Decide what I want my Dark Turn later. Maybe they kill this and then get to Dark Turn. This is like a 6/6. Though I'm completely... This is fine. I'll probably like Combustion Cell. I'd be completely up for just like demolishing that. Yeah, Strategize. well, we want all this. I guess Annihilate is going to be not very good against this opponent, so. Yeah, Stonepowder Alchemist. I think our opponent's not got like stuff like Madness anymore. Let's just sit here making each bullet count. Is there anything we actually want from the board? And there isn't. I hate playing merchants like just as our body. Yeah, go on. Let's get Nostrix. Nostrix is good. And then we'll just like make infinitely big Nostrix targets. Yep, no blocks. My opponent's got Devour here, that's sort of a nuisance, but it's like probably also just fine. Yep, you've touched my thing to keep my thing, that's fine. So I'm just going to go with like buffing the Aegis things just so that point isn't able to mess us about with any other madnesses. So I've probably gone through 2, and there's like no card selection here. I think they're seeing like 1 quarry. Yeah. I mean, admit like opponents had like a really bad draw here. But we also got them dead because we've got like 16 power in play. So yeah, I think we're not doing too badly here. So I'm just going to think of what I want to do for the second deck this week. I think I'm just going to do all those videos where I just build something from scratch on screen. Well, good game, opponent. Sorry about the rubbish draw. Okay, so that was Nostrix Control. I believe I had like a positive record there. Can't remember now if it's 3-2 or 4-1. The loss to the Channel Tempest was absolutely backbreaking. And maybe these Crownwatch standards need to get out of here so that we can actually play some like Amethyst Waystones. But there we are. This deck seemed pretty cool though. It was nice that it was a bit of a mid-range take. I think I enjoyed, and maybe this wasn't actually correct, I enjoyed just the Gen of Merchant into Mirror Image to Mirror Image. The Gen of Merchant to get in the market again. Just really like just dipping my hands like in any market like as often as possible. That's probably why I like the Shadow Merchant, because you just have to like Shadow Merchant Dark Return it back, and then yeah, just like get access to every single card. But yeah, the deck seemed cool. Thanks for watching. I've been That Results. Hope you like the new overlay, but I don't doubt it for a second that people will let me know if they don't. Well, I've been That Results. I'll see you around. Okay, so just a little bit of an Easter egg at the end. I am now unteamed. It's not my choice really. With the Worlds tournaments coming, just not going to have time or anything like that just to be messing around with like actual tournaments. So I just want to just make videos really. So I decided to leave Team Rockstar and I'm now on my own. Not looking for another team. Probably won't be, but I'm still always available to help people out if they've got any questions or anything they want to know about the game or just sort of improving it in general. But yeah, that was it. Just a little bit of an Easter egg at the end just for people who are curious or still paying attention. Goodbye.